Hello, it's Karla, and I am back in the van. Beautiful day today, and today I have been focusing on the sliding side door and what to do with that. I was going to put shiplap up there to match the walls, but I decided to skip the heaviness of that, and so then I thought, well, I'll do a 1/4 inch piece of plywood, cut it out, maybe put fabric over it, maybe put wallpaper, paint it. I couldn't decide. But what I finally decided on was I just got some more cedar planking, like from the ceiling, and I'm going to put it up there, which meant I had to do some framing, which is like, oh, I'm done with that. But that's what I've done today. So I had all these scraps of 1/4 inch plywood, so I glued 2 together to make 1/2 inch pieces because I didn't have any 1/2 inch pieces. And so I put those up at the top, and then on the bottom, I still need to do one here. Although right here, this is all going to be covered by the cabinets, so it's not going to need as much support, but these are just enough to hold the planks so they're not too wobbly inside. So anyway, I hope that works out. This took me longer than I wanted it to, but doesn't all of it. So anyway, a good day to get some stuff done, and I just took my time, and we'll see how it goes when I try to put up the planks. Wish me luck. Bye. Hi, and welcome back. A little chilly today, having a little hot chocolate. And windy day. Anyway, back to work. Hi, it's Karla, and I'm back, and I'm finishing up the cedar planks on the sliding door of my Ram Promaster. So I got something different than what I used on my ceiling. On my ceiling, I used a product from Home Depot. I think it was American Pacific cedar planks, and it seems to be what a lot of people on YouTube are using. And I like the way it looks. It looks good, looks great, but they were kind of a pain to work with putting up. They're very flimsy, and and I also had put a water sealant on them before, and some of that stuff dried up in the grooves and on the tongue. I spent more time with a razor blade trying to get that stuff off. I, again, wasn't paying attention. So for this, I decided to go with the cedar planking versus plywood versus shiplap. Shiplap, I didn't want the heaviness. The 1/4 inch plywood, I just didn't want to deal with making a template, and I didn't know, thought it would be kind of flimsy. So I decided cedar, which is also more water resistant and mold resistant, and I'm mold sensitive, so I want to avoid mold at all costs. I decided to go with this, and I found this particular product at Home Depot, or I'm sorry, Menards, and it is Elite Home Product, Tongue and Groove, Knotty B Grade, V Groove Cedar Planking. And I think it was like $26.99 or $29.99 here in old Central Illinois for 6 8-foot boards. And it's taking me 3 packages. I could have gotten by with 2, but I decided I wanted to keep it seamless. And so at the bottom there, it was easy because they were 48 inches. So I just cut the 8-foot piece in half, and it was perfect for 2 rows. Well, that only lasted for a while, and then because it's a van and has a mind of its own, it's, different sizes. And this was a pain in the old butt trying to get around all of this, and as you can see, I still have to figure out what to do there. But first I put framing here. I glued together 2/4 inch pieces of scrap trim that I had from whatever else I used this for to get a 1/2 inch. And so that made it a little more flat. Although this piece right here bothers me. There's nothing here. It kind of buckles a bit because it curves. It must come out a little bit more. And it's not in there as tight as I want it to be. And it's right by the door handle. So I'm hoping that doesn't cause me problems. But, so these across the top are 50 inches. And so out of a 96 inch piece, that means there's only 46 inches left. So I can't use both sides for this. So I have a bunch of 46 inch pieces, and I'm thinking I'll just probably do the back door the same way. I have the fabric on the bottom of the back door, but I still have the top half of the back door to deal with. So I'm going to try to see if those 46 inch pieces will work back there. And if I have to puzzle them together, it won't bother me so much because I'm going to have my super cool gauze curtains that I absolutely love hanging up. So that's what I'm doing today. So I have 4 pieces right now cut to 50 inches. And as I mentioned, these are sturdier than the ceiling ones. They're a little more rigid, and the tongue and grooves aren't as damaged and aren't as flimsy. So they're much easier to get into place. Really nice. So then I have brad nail gun. I was terrified of this bad boy a month ago. It's my best friend now. Gotta step out of your comfort zone. Lord knows I'm out of my comfort zone. Very good. Trying to put the cut edge. Oh, I cut this one pretty smoothly. Cut edge down here. That's not as visible. Yeah, as soon as I say how easy they go in, I'm going to get a cantankerous one. Sometimes it seems if you start at the end, find a spot where you can get it to slide in and then scoot it down. But I think they just don't make, some of these are real flush together and some of them have a gap. I think, and it's in there, it's just, it's like the groove isn't cut the same. I'm going to try a different piece and save that one for the top. Yeah, maybe it's the tongue of the one I just used. Yeah, I spoke too soon, didn't I? There, that snapped in, I think. Still, there's a little bit of a gap there. I could care less. I really don't care, as long as they're connected, which they're in there. They're just, some of them leave a gap. Oops. I also found that I was pressing too hard and leaving dents, because this stuff again is real, it's like balsa wood, it's very flimsy. I think I'm out of nails. Nothing is standing up there. All right, hold on, I gotta go get more nails. Not sure if you can put more than one row in here. It seems like there's space for that, but I just put one in at a time because I know that works. So there's that. So I'm trying not to press this hard because you don't need to, but you have to have this little piece up against there or it doesn't seem to want to work. And it's still leaving a bit of a dent. I suppose I could sand it, but I suppose I won't. It's going to get beat up anyway with wear and tear. All right, I still need to do the end here. Trying to line up the brad nails as best I can without giving it too much thought. I mean, it has to go where the framing is, right? So it's kind of a no-brainer. All right, moving right along. This is the easy part today. Now see, like, look at this one. This one is just flush against it. Why this one has a big gap, I don't know. I probably will be the only one that notices it. And all you guys now that I pointed it out. Whoop. Shot out that knot. One of the videos I watched on YouTube of Lauren Lawless, man, she shot one of those nails through her finger. Ooh. Ouch, I could feel it. Yeah, it must have been the tongue of that one, because here's that piece that I was fighting with a minute ago, and it just slid right in here. Maybe you can only put them in one way, and I'm putting them in backwards. I don't know. Too late now. All right, now the top piece. Ugh. I don't know how I'm gonna get that to work. Gonna have some curves. I'm going to stop the camera while I figure that out, because it'll take me a while to scribe it. And it looks like I'm going to have to, I don't think, yeah, I'm going to have to trim off part of it, because I only want it to go that high. 1 3/4. So I need the groove end intact. Cut off this end. So 1 3/4 from the bottom of that, and then figure out these angles, and this will be done. I don't know what to do for trim on the edge here. Probably will do nothing. Luckily I lined them all up, and that makes it look better. Guess I could put some sort of trim on it. I'll worry about that later. All right, well, I just wanted to update you on where I'm at today. Spent the weekend working on the cabinetry, and I'm anxious to show you that. My son is basically building them, and I'm observing and helping, but they're turning out great. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.